Well, let's go to the end of the game highlights as we will officially start for you the post-game show presented by the Maroon Club. Every gift matters every year. Join the Maroon Club today. Here's Mike.
Yeah, you want to look at a team that's consistent and going to take advantage of mistakes by Lafayette. And here you see Butler, who finished the game just rushing just under 75 yards, but did a great job. Going to power it in here. The backup quarterback's going to take that in, make it a 14-0 lead, and it really looked like Lafayette's defense was on their heels all day. They were tired. You got to tell them. I mean, they were on the field for 3 times as many plays offensively as they ran, and you see Butler, he's going to get in here again. Lafayette highlights it up there with a block by Malik Ham, a return by Byron Johnson's going to take this the length of the field, and there's the 20-2 lead. At that point in time, you thought, boy, Lafayette, if they have an opportunity at the end of the half, and they did, and they squandered that opportunity, and then coming out of halftime, they went 3 and out. But it was a lot of penalties that had Lafayette. You know, a couple plays down the field. You see here Josevic over 100 yards receiving. He was my main issue coming into the game, and you can see the length, the size, the speed of him just getting on top of the smaller defensive backs. Here's a drag route that created a first down, and Gary and I talked about it. From third down and short, second down and short, they convert third downs. They did it all day long, and they put Lafayette in their place today. It didn't have an answer offensively or really defensively.
Princeton offense piled up 364 yards total offense as they had 290 in the air. They rushed for just 74 yards, so not a great day on the ground for them. Lafayette, they had 150 yards in the air, 206 total, and certainly Stenstrom was very, very good today at operating the offense as he was 30 for 40, 75%. He was sacked a couple of times, both of those by Malik Ham. Rent Monty, 15 for 28. He was intercepted once for 111 yards. The top receiver was Yosevas, as he had 10 catches for 150 yards, 15 yards per catch. And Butler was the leading runner for Princeton, 49 yards on 15 carries. Lafayette's leading runner, Jaden Sutton, was 16 yards on 16 carries. 16 yards on 5 carries. And their leading receiver, they had a bunch of guys with, their leading receiver, Elijah Stewart, with 4 catches for 31 yards.
You just hope, Gary, this wasn't a step backwards, because today, you know, again, they put their foot forward last week. They did everything they needed to do in the rain at Bucknell. They came off a loss, got to win what they needed to do. They got 1-0 in the Patriot League. Now, again, you put the out-of-conference behind you and you move forward, but you just hope this isn't a step backwards, because, you know, there's frustration right now on the offensive side of this football. They have not been consistent in anything. Running, throwing, you know, kicking game, all of that stuff has really been a negative, and Mike St. Germain, his defense, has tried to hold on, but you see what happens when you lose guys consistently. You don't have a Billy Schaefer, and you don't have up front, you don't have a guy like Ian Grayson in there, and you don't have Preston Forney. It's going to hurt you, and you're going to give up yardage, and Lafayette did that today, and they just couldn't hold up.
Well, you only have to look at really one number, and I think this number has been fairly consistent all year in terms of time of possession. The defense is on the field just too much. Today, twice as long on the field as Princeton with 40 minutes of offense compared to Lafayette's 20 minutes.
And I don't think the Lafayette offense ran 10 plays in the first half. I mean, it was just one of those things. Then they get the ball at the 30, and they have a 4th and 1 with a timeout. And I just don't understand that call. They had an opportunity to put some points on the board and be down 20-10 or 20-9, which is all of a sudden, you know, you look at that from the outside, you're saying, wow, Lafayette's right here in this ball game. And they had not even played close to being in this ball game. This was completely dominated by Princeton's offense all day long.
Well, we're going to have Megan chat with John Troxell to see what his thoughts are getting ready for the bye week and the Patriot League. Here's Meg.
Thank you so much, Gary. Well, Coach, a big goal line stand for your defense within those final 2 minutes. You talked to me coming into this game about the resiliency that your team has been showing. How is that on perfect display?
You know what? I mean, the kids, I just said it to them, like, we've never had a kid quit on us. The kids intend to play hard every week. You know, we just have to get better, you know. I mean, we're young. We can't put ourselves behind the sticks. That kills us. We get bad penalties, or we had a bunch in the first half where we dropped balls, or we have to put a complete game together and be a little bit more consistent, especially when you're playing a good team like Princeton.
And you also have to get a little healthy. Your team has a bye week coming up. How are you going to utilize that to get a little bit healthier?
You know what? So we'll probably take it a little bit easier on them. It is going to be a great week to get guys healthy. We should be getting a bunch of guys back here for homecoming and Holy Cross, so that'll be exciting. So we'll get some experience back.
Coach, thank you so much.
Anytime. Thank you.
Gary?
No question about it, as the crew is all set down below, so thank you for spending time with Mike, with me, with John Beat Bowman. And here we go down to Megan Caffrey.
Thank you so much, Gary. I'm joined again by Phil Lang and John Leone. And Phil, they were just talking upstairs about the defense of Lafayette and how they really did put up a good fight today.
Oh, absolutely. I think we can obviously count on this defense. You saw that last stand that shows that they're in it till the end. We just can't keep counting on them, though. We have to do something offensively. This is just eerily similar to last year, where we just our defense played well, and we just really couldn't come up with anything offensively.
What do you think Lafayette needs to do change-wise to be able to get some offensive production?
Megan, it's kind of a trick question in a way. I think the biggest thing they have going for them right now is that next week is a bye week.
Yeah.
They've got to get healthy. They have to refocus now on the league. This was like a perfect storm. First-year coach, I think, and Phil, you can correct me, but this is easily one of the most difficult out-of-conference schedules that I can remember. Mm-hmm. Every team we've played is either picked at or near the top of their conference. John Troxell knew when he was coming in that the defense was way ahead of the offense, but this is a little more challenging than even he expected. So let's try to get healthy. Let's take the week off to regroup, and then we'll get into the Patriot League.
Well, going off that a little bit, Phil, when you look at the non-conference schedule that Lafayette did play, a tough non-conference schedule, what are the positives that a player can take away from going up against that type of competition?
Well, again, you're going against the top competition, right? Mm-hmm. And then going into league, not that it's not going to be competitive, but it shouldn't be as bad or as tough as some of those opponents that you've played in the past. Going again off of what you were saying, John. Not only was it this year, but it's been year after year that we've played this kind of schedule. Back in my day, we opened up with like an East Stroudsburg or a Kutztown, to get something under our belt.
Yeah, and let's
nice.
And let's understand too that with the kind of the ascension of college football, the Patriot League doesn't necessarily play by some of the same rules that some of our opponents are playing with. Right. So, not to make excuses, John Troxell has a plan, and John Troxell is going to get this done. I asked him before the game. I said, there's depth, talent, and consistency. What do you need? And obviously Lafayette's got to shore up its depth, because the depth, lack thereof, has hurt us this year.
Right.
Yeah, and just getting healthy in general. I think it is such huge timing that before now Lafayette is going to start to go into the depths of conference play. They have an opportunity to really set back, reset, and get healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is one of the positives you can take out of this game, is that we didn't have any major injuries. So not only do you have that, but you have a couple guys I think that will be able to come back. I think one for sure is Ian Grayson that's coming back for that line. Not that they need any more help, but obviously that's another person that can help with depth.
We'll stay on the topic of league play a little bit, though. Phil, what challenges does now Patriot League play bring?
Well, obviously you have two big challenges, and that's 2 games in a row, right? You got Holy Cross coming out, and it looks like they're going to be the leader in this Patriot League, and that's going to be a tough one, coming right up front.
However, those 2 games are at home.
They're at home, but Phil, you took the words right out of my mouth, because, yes, I think the Patriot League doesn't have a William and Mary or a Temple or a team like that, but they do have 2 stalwart teams in Fordham and Holy Cross, and of course, in keeping with our schedule to this point, we open up with those 2 schools.
Mm-hmm. Well, in 2 weeks, we will be right back here from Fisher Stadium. We are so excited to get back. But until then, the bye week. From Phil Lang, John Leone, and Megan Caffrey, we will see you soon.